Good evening, this is Philip, Fieldy Music, and tonight we're doing a tier ranking of Ken Carson's studio albums, EPs, and mixtapes. This is not the first time I've done a Rage artist or Rage adjacent artist. I guess Little Uzi Vert falls in that, and I did him, I think, last year. Well, yeah, I would have to, it's only February. Um, So yeah, so Ken Carson. I was planning on doing Destroy Lonely because I just finished listening to all his stuff, but I heard he has another album coming out this year, so I was like, okay, I'll just hold off on that one. Um, I'll probably be looking into the major rage artists anyway, just because I work with a lot of kids that like this kind of music, and so I am exposed to it a lot because I have to see if it's appropriate for my work, and most of the time it's not. Or at least without some editing. Uh, but anyways, and I'm a Georgia guy. If you can't tell, I have an accent. So Ken Carson, Georgia rapper from Atlanta, Georgia, is 25 years old. Gained his attention for SoundCloud releases and collaborations with fellow Atlanta rapper Destroy Lonely. Signed with Playboy Cardi's record label Opium, an imprint of Interscope Records to release his debut studio album. We'll be going through all the albums and everything. This is his third studio album, Great Chaos, peaked at number 11 on the charts and received warmer reviews by comparison. Its deluxe release spawned its first Billboard Hot 100 entry with a single overseas. He released his fourth album, More Chaos, on his 25th birthday. He's associated with OBM label mates Destroy Lonely and Homicide Gang, which I don't know a lot about, except for featuring. Anyway, so his genres, this is southern hip hop, trap, and rage. Which, when I was looking at the labels on the albums, it mentions trap once, rage almost every time. It does every time. So let's look at rage real quick, the definition of it, because I think a lot of people don't know what that is. So it says it is also known as rage music, rage rap, rage beats, microgenre of trap music that originated in the United States in the late 2010s. Distinguishing features of rage include short looping, stereo widened, feature bass influenced synthesizer, lead hooks, and basic and energetic trap rhythms. When the pioneers of rage are rappers Playboy Cardi, Little Uzi Vert, who I just already done a deep dive last year, Trippie Redd. I'm familiar with Playboy Cardi and Trippie Redd very much, so I haven't done a deep dive, but I'm very well aware. And XXX Tentacion, which I plan on doing his. I have for a while before he even died, to be honest, because the kids at my work just kept on asking for his music. And the acousticy kind of stuff that he's doing, it kind of interested me in trying it out. So this is Trippie Redd has created XXX Tentacion as a influence on the genre. Origins come from hip hop, trap, punk rap, cloud rap, EDM, future bass, and plug. One thing I've gotten from this, it seems like it's a lot more about the vibe more than lyrics and everything. Which, I mean, lyrics are going to come out anyway. Because I did ding a lot of these albums coming up that I'm going to be talking about. Just briefly, because there's a lot of like repeat stuff. I mean, there's a lot of braggadocio or bragging and yeah, sexual, stuff all the time. And so it's kind of redundant over and over, repetitive. But yeah, I was trying to see if there's like other artists that they would mention. This is some other scenes, but I've heard of Cash Dami, I've heard of Snot, heard of Cochise, SSG Kobe, and Phaso, Yeet, yeah. Mario Judah. Okay. So I didn't really do too much on there. Hybrid genre, trap and EDM. I get that. And I do like when rap and trap mixed with like EDM and electronic stuff. I do like that. It's like when the Blade 2 soundtrack came out. I thought that was awesome. So I'm all about that. But heck, I like it when they do it with rock too. So, anyways, I think a lot of people would suspect or expect me to like just clown on this guy's music and everything. I mean, there is some of that. There's some hating, but there's more than you would think for some of it. So we'll start off with Boy Barbie, released in 2020. Let me get my notes out, my phone. I'm going to go through these really quick. I mean, it's kind of late already, and like I said, it's very redundant or repetitive about what I would say about it. But I'll say for a first EP, this was fun to be honest. Um, he seemed more hungry and fun, and I don't know what was going on in his life or anything like that, but it seemed like he kind of got kind of like it's kind of like down a little bit. Like this was like fun. The rapping, even though it was some cheesy sexual lyrics and stuff like that, I thought they were funny. Some of it, so this was better than I thought it would be. In fact, I liked it. So I'm gonna put this in the B. I thought that was pretty good start. It does fall off from here though. um, so Teen X, I thought was lesser so for that. It was kind of mad. There was a lot of like I said, repetition. Um, its energy felt off, so I'm gonna put it in D. And Teen X Relapse, I thought was not good at all. So that was kind of like really bad to me. I just did not want to hear any more of this. Um, there's no entries in Wikipedia for these two, so I'll say okay. Teen X also released in 2020 and Relapse released in 2021. Um, so the first studio project, Project X, came out in 2021 as well. Rage and pop rap album featuring harmonious synthesizers and melodic, fast-paced flows. Its titled cover artwork paid tribute to Nima Nourizadeh film Project X 2012. It's in mixed reviews from critics. Criticized for songwriting repetitive and derivative. True. Pretty popular among Rage music fans and helped solidify Carson's place in the rap music scene. Let's see if there's anything with the tracks. I just didn't really like this one. It's not his worst project, but it's pretty close. Maybe it'll grow on me in the future if I listen to this again, but this time it just hit me wrong. I was just like, oh, what is this? So at this point, it was his worst to me. Um, so next we go to all these lost files, which I almost skipped because like, what are these little compilations or something? That's what the name of it kind of makes me think. But first and second released in 2021, and third 2022, fourth 2023. So I'm just gonna do them all together. Just really quick. The first Lost Files to me is his worst project. I put it there as is trash. In fact, I think my score for that one was like a 1 out of 10. It's bad. Next we have Lost Files 2, which I think was just a little bit better. Um, do I want to put it? I think I'll put it right above it, right there. So T-Nex Relapse is still better than all of these. Then we have Lost Files 3, which is even worse than that. So there, but it's not as bad as that last one. And then Lost Files 4, which surprised me because I thought it was really good. I was like, okay, I even liked it better than Boy Barbie. I was like, okay. It really surprised me. I was like, okay, that's cool. Um, I don't know what it was about. I think it's more the production of it, though. I didn't really make a note of that. I think it's the production on that one. I think it was just like it hit me better than the previous ones. Um, Next, we have his next studio album called X. I mean, he's a big comic book fan, so X-Men or X-Men and all that stuff. Um, yeah, so I noticed that on one of his names is also known as T-Nex X-Man, King Carson with that money sign for the S, and Lord of Chaos. Huh. All right, so X. Major label debut, executive produced by Playboy Cardi, and features guest appearances from Destroy Lonely, Homicide Gang. Features high energy electronic production with synthesizers, 808 drums, and auto tune vocals. So it reached number 115 on the Billboard 200. Yeah. It went out on the X-Men tour, with Destroy Lonely in support of the album. Wow. I did not hate it as much as some of these other ones. I mean, I didn't like it as much as Lost Files 4. I'm going to put it in a D. It still wasn't great. It was kind of meh. I think because the Lost Files 4 caught me by surprise. I was like, oh, I was expecting more, and I was let down with that one. And then we got the last two, which are the two Chaos named ones. So Great Chaos. Let's go to that. Third studio album, released in 2023. Various producers, including Filthy Little 88, Starboy Out of Town, and TM88. Features guest appearances from Destroy Lonely and Little Uzi Vert. That's considered a rage album. Um, Characterized by its maximalist production with glitchy, digitized instrumentation, hedonistic attitude coupled with moments of vulnerability, angst, and horror references. I really did think the glitchy instrumentation aided in me liking it a lot. I do tend to like that. It says it received critical acclaim with praise for its appeal in the production and considered his breakout album. Um, Carson's first top 20 album on the Billboard 200, and it also performed well in Canada and Europe. And then he embarked on another tour, so it's called the Chaos Tour of Europe and the United States. And the album has earned 1.3 million album equivalent units worldwide. And it is my favorite of these albums, of his stuff. So I'm putting it in A. For scores, I give it a 9.4. I thought it was really good. I was really, 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 really surprised by how good it was. Uh, I think a lot of people will be shocked by that, but that would put it that high. But I don't know, it just caught me by surprise, especially because I was expecting it to go low again after X and everything. I was like, oh, there we go. And then finally, we got more Chaos. Let's go over there. Fourth studio album came out last year, 2025. Recorded most of it in 2024. Well, in support of his third album, A Great Chaos. It's produced by Filthy, Little 88, Starboy, Out of Town, among others. Guest appearances does not include any, but the streaming bonus track, yeah. It's a rage and trap album. Expands upon the style and production of A Great Chaos. Yes, it does feel like it's a sibling. Generally favorable reviews. Music critics praising its energy but expressing ambivalence towards its monotonous nature and perceived lack of change. I agree with that. So I do think that hurts it, um, but it's still not bad at all. I think it's actually pretty good. Um, and it says Carson was scheduled to embark on the headline tour of North America in support of the album, but canceled it in favor of supporting Paul McCartney on his Antagonist tour, October to December 2025. So, yeah, like I said, I thought it was pretty good. Now, where would I put it on here? I would put it in between Lost Files 4 and Boy Barbie. So, I'll give it a B. So, 1A, 3 Bs, 2 Ds, and 5 Fs. So, what if I need to start getting, like, accumulate a score of this? But, I mean, 5 Fs, that's really going to knock it. And they're low Fs as well. But yeah. Better than I expected. Excuse me. But anyways, let me know what you think of my ranking here. Like and subscribe if you're not already. Hit the bell, share, help me get my subscriptions up. I really do appreciate it, and I will not be able to grow without you, to be honest. I mean, it's just the facts. I need people. I need support. So, yeah. Also in the comments, let me know your ranking of these albums. Um, and I'll see you tomorrow for another song of the day tomorrow for to continue our musical discovery. Dabbling a little rage here, uh, and we'll continue with a few more artists in that range in the future. I got a couple others I want to do in the meantime. Like I said, I've already listened to all the Destroy Lonely. Just got to figure out when I want to do it. Well, when the new album comes out, and then yeah, I'm probably gonna do some classic rock after this. So cleanse the palate a little bit. So, anyways, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.